Hello and a very good morning to you all. How are you this week? It's Kirsty back again. If you don't know who I am based in Sussex and I am normally a mobile massage therapist going around people's homes, helping them to feel better, keeping them in tip-top condition. But I have a specialty in cancer massage, so people that are going through treatment. Good morning, Andre. Thank you for joining me. My apologies, I was a minute late this morning. And working with scar tissue, which can be very stubborn and cause quite a lot of conditions. So they're my specialties. But I'm also a personal trainer, so I use all that knowledge to help me with my clients. And all through lockdown, every Saturday morning, I've been doing a little fitness thing for you to keep you going, keep you motivated. And we're now progressing into giving you new ideas of ways to improve your fitness and to use different. Hello, little Kay. Thank you for joining me. So lovely to see you. I hope your week's got better. It's been a tough one this week. And so we're introducing equipment to make it a little bit more exciting, more challenging, and just, what should we say, pimp up your exercise. You know, let's be bold. Let's go for it this morning. So the usual caveats for everyone. Please, please, please make sure that you are fit and healthy to do this. If you have any joint conditions, any health concerns, you think, oh, my back's a bit twingy, please go and get checked out. All these videos are available on my Facebook page all the time. You can come back whenever you want and do them again. Most of them go onto a YouTube channel as well, so you can always find them. And if you get stuck, just message me and I will let you know. So the caveats for today: make sure you're fit and healthy, and you've got a safe space to do this. Because we're using unstable bases today, make sure you're not going to slip off and knock your head on the coffee table or on a hard surface or anything like that. You've got suitable footwear. You might want to wear your trainers. Socks are probably not the best thing for this one today, or you can go bare feet. I'm going bare feet today. Have you got some water? And it is water, I promise. Other makes are available. It's not gin and tonic at this time of the morning. And you've got a good attitude. Do you want to do this? You know, make fitness work for you. That's what I always say to people. If it's a drudge and you're like, oh, I know I've got to do it, but oh, you know, then maybe it's time to change things up a bit and get that thrill of working out back. Because we all know when we've finished, we feel really good. We're on a high and we think, yes, I'm really glad I did that. So today, by request actually, it's about the abs again, and we're going to be using the Swiss ball, which is a big inflatable ball. And just to tell you a little bit about them, they come different colours. Colours are not always relevant, but the size is. Now this one is a 55 centimetre ball. That means the diameter of the ball. And when you put it on the floor, when I put it on the floor, you'll be able to see. So if I took a tape measure from the floor to the top of the ball, so if I measured it from the floor to the top, this one is 55 centimeters. It's actually a little bit small for me because I'm quite tall. So they come in different sizes. So your 55 centimeter is really good for anybody up to about 5'6", 5'7", and I can't do it in meters. I should have looked it up, but I'll put it on when I edit the video. I'll put it in meters as well. Your 65 centimeter ball, which again is going to be bigger and it's going to be taller off the floor. That's suitable for anybody 5'7" up to about 6 foot. And then if you are 6'1" and above, then you're going to need a 75 centimeter ball. And obviously, because the balls come in different sizes, their prices will change. When you're buying a Swiss ball, obviously they come deflated. You have to inflate it. Make sure you buy one that is anti-burst and is quite a tough rubber material. You do get, like everything, you get what you pay for. If you buy cheap, it's not going to last. It's probably going to burst. and then you'll end up buying another one. So anything with fitness equipment, and I know a lot of riders are on here, you will agree with this, it's not always your best policy to buy cheap. Invest in the equipment and it will last you forever. I wouldn't want to tell you how long I've had this one. I've got heaps of them out there, all the different sizes. But because I buy industry equipment, and that's what I sell on, I know it's good quality and there won't be any issues with it. I have seen in the gym where people have been stupid with things and there have been accidents, and I wouldn't want any of that to happen to you. So these are my safety tips. Make sure you get the right size ball, make sure it's anti-burst, good quality, and it will last you forever, really. So this is our ball, and I'm going to pop you on the floor. If you've got any questions, let me just look at the comments. Loving these Saturday workouts. Oh, thank you, Andre. I know your weather's a bit rubbish down there at the moment, isn't it? You're down in Devon, and weather's a bit rubbish, so your coaching's being messed up. But you can use it like any other chair or sofa in your house. You can use it just to sit on. I sometimes use it just to sit on my desk, at my desk when I'm working, just to challenge my core, make my abs work a bit harder, and do a little bit of mobility while I'm sitting there. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you find your seat bones, the bony bits in your bottom, and you might have to have a little bit of a wiggle around, from the side, so that you can find them. And then you want to be tall, because you want your pelvis to be level. You don't want to be slumped and rounded. You know, you can see how that's now rounded through my back. If I come back to normal, I should be about there. You don't want to go too far tilting your pelvis forward either, because that then puts strain on everything. So you need to be in the middle. And a really good way to do this is just to rock your pelvis under, rock it out the front, rock and roll a few times, and then you'll find your middle point. Your legs 90 degrees at the hip. This is why I need a slightly taller ball, because you can see that my thigh is coming up, whereas it should be going about level about there. 90 degree at the hip, 90 degree at the knee, 90 degrees at the ankle. Feet facing forwards, knees facing forwards, hips facing forwards. So you've not got anything falling out. This is not very pretty, but you'll see what I mean. You know, you got your feet out there and you're like, ugh. You know, that's not going to do you any good for anything. And as I always say, make sure your workout is quality. It's better to do 5 almost perfect repetitions and then stop than do 10 which are a bit sloppy and not really getting you your benefits. So that's how you should be sitting on the ball. Feet flat on the floor, 90 degree at the ankle, 90 degree at the knees, 90 degree at the hip, balanced on your sitting bones, nice and tall through your spine. Remember I had the spine out last week and it showed every bone through the spine. And imagine that you're being pulled up through the top of your head. But then the key is to try and relax in that position. Now, when it comes to the core, because this is why we're using the ball, imagine that you've put a belt on and you've tightened up that belt as far as it can go and you've drawn everything in and up. And now you can't breathe. So you need to let it out 2 or 3 notches. And that's the sensation that you want to try and keep when you're doing these exercises. It's gone as far as you can and then let it out a bit. So to begin with, we're just going to do something nice and simple. And we're just going to try and lift the leg off the floor. So set your position, those things that I've just talked about. You can have your fingers lightly touching the ball, or you might want to have something that you can hold on to. You know, if I was going sideways, I could just about hold on to the edge of the sofa here and do the exercise. And this is why I said to you, make sure you're not going to fall off and knock your head on a coffee table or anything. So you just gently lift one leg and lower back down again. Lift the other leg. And you want to make sure that there's no sliding to the sides and that you don't lose this good posture. I don't believe there's a perfect posture because the body is not perfect. You want it to be as efficient and comfortable for you. So we're going to lift the leg again. Lift and lower. And what we're trying to avoid is slipping or slipping out to the side as we do it. So we're going to lift and lift. And you don't have to come very far off the floor. And then if you get a little bit braver, you can lift, you can extend, you can lower back down. And you can do 1 on each side, you can do 10 on each side. It's totally up to you. Then you can start to progress it. And all these things, I'm just giving you ideas and ways you can progress. Because I know some of you do these things regularly and you need more challenging. I've got a PT session tomorrow, it's Sunday. I'm going to be using the ball and my PT has already said it's going to be fairly intense. So that's something to look forward to. Great. All right, we are going to challenge the side of the body now. So what you can do is take the feet to the side and then lift, take them over to the other side. So it's a little hop. Your hips can move, and I quite like this because there I am fighting it, holding it, not falling off. You're working your obliques, your side muscles, but you're getting a little bit of mobility into the hips and the lower spine. But it is quite challenging. Little bunny hops. I used to hate doing these at school. Do you remember you used to have a bench and you used to hop over it? Hated them, but this is okay. All right. Pelvic floor. We're always talking about pelvic floor. Men or women, doesn't matter. All need to look after our pelvic floor. And so what we're going to do is, again, imagine you've got those really tight trousers and you've got to zip them up. So you draw everything in and up, zip it up, and then just try and hold it literally as you bounce on the ball. Now, I know you all think I'm bonkers, but you know that anyway. But as you try and bounce and keep that engagement, it's actually quite hard. Now, for riders, I used to do this in bodywork sessions, is to bounce taller and slower as if you were doing rising trot and see if you can keep that pelvic floor engaged. And it's just another little tester, but really good for health. Now, up, pops back. What else did I have on here? We've done those. Hello. Well, you will try and open the door. So, seated, you can use it as you would for any other exercises. So if you had your weights, you wanted to do shoulder press, you can do it seated on the ball. Same things apply. Everything in alignment. You can do your chest press, chest fly, bicep curls. You know, you can do extensions. These work the back of the arm. Just from sitting, and whilst you're doing it, you're still trying to keep that good position, not roll out, not roll to the side and lose that posture. So it can be really useful for that. What else can we do? Of course, and this is what you've all been waiting for, can work your abs. So sit on the ball and then roll yourself out. Hello, this could get really interesting now she's back. So I'm just walking myself down the ball. And if I'm going to do a curl up type exercise, I want to have my lower back supported. Okay, so you can see that my ribs and a bit of my hips are on the ball. All I'm going to do, you can have your hands wherever you want. I've got that train line going on, straight line, hips, knees, ankles, 90 degrees everywhere, tabletop. Hands can be on your thighs. Imagine you've got a tennis ball under your chin. That will protect your neck. If you need to support your neck, that's absolutely fine. And then you just curl up the same as you would on the floor, but it's more difficult because this wants to move. So you're having even minor adjustments going on through the body that you might not even be aware of. You can take the hands up to the ceiling, make it harder. You can still do your obliques coming across, reaching up and across. And if you haven't got a ball this morning, it's not a problem. You just do them on the floor. Okay. Hello. We can do some bridges. So these, I want to make sure that my shoulders and my head are supported on this. So I've moved the ball further up my body, and now you can see I've got 90 degrees. I'm flat through my pelvis. My glutes are working. I can take my arms up. I can take them over, do things like that. I can drop down as if I would in a bridge, and then squeeze, power them up. I'm just moving my arms out of the way. So I drop down, squeeze and power up. And that way you'll build more strength and power into the glutes. So they're quite fun. What else can we do on here in this position? We can take the ball and use it like we did with the chair the other week, and just do your curl up this way. Come up and across, up and across. You can lightly grip the ball between your upper thigh and your calf. Rotate your pelvis backwards, hands on the floor, and work the lower abs. You can hold. Again, making sure the ribs don't pop up. You've got that little gap under your lumbar spine. Belly button's engaged. You can roll the ball out a bit further. Now, any time you're using the ball, the further away your feet are, further apart, the more stable you're going to be. If they're close together, that increases the difficulty. So from here, I'm going to go up into my bridge. Palms up on the floor, stops you pushing into the floor, so makes you work harder through your actual body. So you're going to come up into that bridge position and just hold. You can take the arms up if you're more advanced, but for a lot of people, and even for me, just staying here can be enough, because I want to keep my glutes up. I don't want them to drop down to the floor. Then you want to start working hamstrings. You can start rolling the ball in and out. Now, if you're prone to cramp, you might find that this is a little bit niggly. Roll that ball in, keep the hips up, roll the ball out. Still working your core, but you're working your glutes and hamstrings at the same time. Want to make it a bit more interesting? Grip the ball, lift and lower. Now this is very similar to the exercise that we do tabletop, where you drop the toe down and come back up. So grip the ball, set the core, lift and lower. Now if you've got a cushion or pillow, you could do it with that. Just grip. If you want to make it a little bit harder, straighten the legs and come up. Slowly down. Back issues, be very careful with this one. You want to make it even more fun, take the ball overhead, touch the floor, bring it back up, back in the ankles, lower back down again. Now that's a toughie, but really, really good for all of these abdominal areas. Hello, Paula, thank you for joining me. So we've done sitting on the ball. We've done lying on the ball face up. We've done lying on the floor with your feet on it. Of course we can go this way. There's no end to the things I can create for you with a Swiss ball. Now, the further down your body the ball is, the harder the exercise is going to be. So always start off in a fairly neutral position. You might want to try some press-ups. My feet are on the floor. And because my body weight is supported by the ball, I've got less coming through my shoulders. So then, again, engage that core, think about tightening that belt and then letting it out 2 or 3 notches, and just take down and come up. You can see that my shoulder is working, my arms are out working, my elbows are bending. If you want to be completely correct, your elbows should go backwards, but it's a lot more uncomfortable and takes a bit of getting used to. You want to make it harder, have the ball further down the body. Still keeping a plank position, belly button is in towards the spine to keep your back supported. You can just do a plank. Stay here. You can do a plank on your forearms. And again, going out of shot, but makes it harder having the ball further down the body. Always be careful getting on and off your ball. Lovely little stretch there. Wrap yourself around the ball and you'll get stretch through your back and through your shoulders and up through here. Now we do the back extensions from the floor where we have the capital E and we peel the chest away from the floor. We can do it on here. So just peel your chest up and away and back down again. And as always, the further down the ball you are, the more range of movement you're going to get. It almost works like a hinge. So from here, I'm going to peel my chest away and come up, go back down. Chest away, go back down. I'm slipping on the carpet this morning. We used to call this one Titanic because it's like that film, which I never saw. So there's all sorts that you can do for your mobility, for your strengthening. We can go sideways. This is a lovely stretch for down through the side of the body. One knee on the floor, two knees on the floor, one hand on the floor. Come up, come over. Now I like to extend that leg because I get more through the front of my hip here. Try not to roll forward or backwards. Imagine that you're squashed between two panes of glass and you can't go sideways. So your hand on the floor just supports you. And then drape yourself over the ball and you can see how much of a banana I'm making through my body down through here. And you'll probably find that one side you get more bend than the other. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you need to do more on the less bendy side. So get your position first of all. Everything with the ball is about position. There's no point in being in the wrong position and doing the exercise. So if you wanted to do it on your knees and wrap yourself over. I'm not rocking forward, I'm on my hip and I'm not falling backwards either and hurting my back. I'm just stretching out. So then if I stretch out that leg, I get more. I stretch out the other leg. Whoops, there you go, you see, proves it live. Little bit of a wobble. I get more stretch again. And that's quite a nice feeling. You can stretch through your upper back with the ball. Just drape yourself and it opens out through underneath the armpit. We did the plank one way because we did the plank with the feet on the ball. If you want a really challenging exercise, your weight comes through your forearms onto the ball and then just watch your kneecaps, lean into that plank position. You can, this might not work, make it harder. Keep that belly button engaged and keep breathing. If you want a challenging exercise, you want to be a bit more dynamic and not just stay in one position. And these are the sorts of things that I go into with one-to-one sessions because they get a little bit more complicated. But you get your plank position and then your shoulder and your hip move forward at the same time. So you roll into that position and then hold and then roll back. So you can see that my hips are moving and my shoulders are moving. And that is really, really nasty. But you don't want to drop, you want to keep that neutral position. So you can use it for your mobility. You can use it as a weight, you know, to open out, to lift, to go to the side. Go on the angle. That's a really good one for opening out the back. Go the other way. Up, you can do these seated, you can do them lying, you can do them standing up. Want to do some mobility? I would do a very, very small circle. I wouldn't go massive on this, not with this size ball. But you can work your triceps, which are on the back of the arm. Those bingo wings. We don't have any bingo wings in our club. You can just hold it. Build up your shoulder strength, holding it. Put a little bit of an inward squeeze, and you'll work through the arms and you'll work across the chest. So it doesn't just have to be for sitting on and doing ab exercises. Virtually any exercise that you do, you can adjust it, amend it, and use the ball. The advantages of using the ball, more challenging. Minor corrections throughout the body the whole time you're using it. It's so small you might not even feel some of them. Just makes it more intense. Now, if you're, say you normally do a shoulder press, sitting or standing, you've got 5 kilo weights and you do your shoulder press, you might find that you want to reduce the weight of the dumbbells because your body has to compensate for the extra bits while you're sitting on the ball. So you might need to drop to maybe a 3 kilo to do it on the ball. It's still building up that intensity and you're still getting your shoulder workout, but you're also getting a really good ab exercise as well. So you're getting a 2 for 1, which is great because your time, you'll be more time efficient because you'll be doing two in one go. I think that's about all I have for you. Look, we've got seated, we've done lying face down, we've done lying face up, we've done side lying, we've done some mobility, we've done some stretches, and you can use it just as a chair. You get your 55 centimeters if you're up to 5'7", 65 centimeters up to 6 foot, and if you're more than 6 feet tall, then you need a 75 centimeter ball. Make sure it's anti-burst, good quality. If you are stuck for sourcing them, let me know, and I can order them for you. And you know that they're industry quality, and I'll post them out. So that's about it for today. Giving you a few ideas. Let me know what you want next week. Thank you for joining me. What's happening in my world next week? Something important. I was in the paper. I was in the local papers this week. They very kindly ran an article about what I do with my services when I'm traveling around and who I help. So that will be posted on the page. It's the last week of the Freebie Thursdays, February. Anybody that's on my mailing list gets put into a random prize draw on Thursday evening, and lucky number will be drawn out and that person will get a prize. And it's the last one we're doing. We've done it all the way through February. So that's Thursday evening. Next Saturday, more lockdown fitness. We've got a review on Monday with the government. So I'll be updating everybody as to what we're doing, whether I'm seeing people or not, or if we're just staying online. And if you want anything, you know where to find me. I hope that's been useful. Please, please, please be safe. Okay. Don't try and do silly things on here and hurt yourselves, because that's not what they're designed for. Health concerns, back issues, get yourselves checked out before you start doing them. Any questions, drop me a message. But have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Take care.